Hello again. We're back on Minecraft. I haven't done anything since the last episode. I've recorded it, edited it, uploaded it, and got right back into playing. Which might be silly, actually. I might be on a one-way road to burnout. But for now, I'm having the time of my life. Right now, I'm mining down, hopefully trying to get this kind of mineshaft ladder thing to bedrock. I didn't do that last time, and I really should finish it. While on my way to bedrock, I mined into a little cave system, which was quite nice. It was so nice, in fact, that right next to the ladder, I found some diamonds, right in the wall. No small vein either. I got 8 from this, which I think is the max vein you can get from diamonds. Not 100% sure on that. Point being, it was very lucky to find right off the bat. I didn't even have to strip mine for it. I'm still going to strip mine. I want to get a lot more for armor and things, but this is a good sign. It's a good start. And if you think my luck's running out there, well, you are very wrong. I continued to get lucky, finding gold, lava, iron. Oh, I was absolutely rolling in it. Perfect fortune. And then, all of a sudden, as it does, my greed got the best of me. And there you go. Greed is the death of common sense, and I have just proved it. If I was just a little bit more observant, I would have made it out scot-free. But no, I was standing on a gravel block, trying to get across to the gold on the other side, and you know, when gravel blocks are updated, they fall. So, there you go, that's how I've just plummeted to my death and lost all of that wealth. So I came back down to check if by some miracle something had been saved, and sure enough, by some magic, the diamonds were okay. Everything else was gone. Like, I had lost the iron, I had lost the gold, I had lost my pickaxe, but I had made it out with the diamonds. And I had learned my lesson. I wasn't sticking around any longer. That gold, that was cursed. That could stay where it was. So, before heading back up, I started hearing this weird kind of magical sound, almost, right? And I thought it was an amethyst geode. I thought I was hearing the crystals. So I tried to mine towards it, and I uncovered more diamonds. Which, you know, that is ridiculously lucky. I think someone was feeling bad for me, quite frankly. If there is a god out there, then he's certainly on my side today, because that is ridiculously fortunate. By the way, the sound wasn't an amethyst geode, it was glow squids, of all things, which is quite useless, and I was a bit disappointed. But I'm not gonna scoff, right? Like, I've just got diamonds. I don't want to seem ungrateful, you know? After getting back to the surface, I thought I'd put those glow ink sacs I just got to use. I was gonna officially name Jim the Tulip. For now, it was just word of mouth, you know? But now that it's written down and glowing, oh yeah. It's official. While I was doing quite well on the mining side of things, I wasn't happy with my house. It was so obvious that I was living in the side of a mountain, there were no decorations, no warmth, no nothing. So I thought I'd do a little bit of expanding. And I wanted a view of the outside. Right now, if I want to tell if it's day or night, I was looking out through the holes in my door, which is just horrible. It's totally useless, it's not going to work. So we're upgrading. We're living in luxury now. When all was said and done, I had a nice little hallway and a nice little room at the end of that hallway. And the real star of the show, the bit that tied it all together, was the window. I could now watch my crops grow in real time. How exciting. No, but really, it was a well-needed expansion, and I can actually tell if it's day or night time now. So I'm well happy. I think it's very, very cool. I decided I wanted to see the world. Actually, no, I didn't. I was actually going up the mountain in hopes of finding some sheep. Because I kid you not, I had still not found any. I had been wandering around the valleys, looking through all the little kind of gaps in the mountains, nothing. So I figured if I want wildlife, I'm going to need to go up high. Which is a bit of a pain, but you know what, it's look, if I need to do it, I need to do it. I'll get it out of the way. So there I go, up the mountain, and lo and behold, sure enough, there are sheep. I was so happy, in fact, that I built this horribly ugly dirt bridge to get across to them. The best part was, it wasn't even difficult to get them home. A tiny little dirt bridge over the water, bring the sheep out with a bit of wheat, break a few blocks, and bang, down they go, ready to be dragged back to the pen and bred indefinitely. That sounds wrong. But it doesn't matter, because we finally have sheep, we can finally make a bed, and we will never get phantoms. It's actually the best day of my life. I was so happy. And I got a nice little achievement to go along with it, so that was cool too. By nightfall, when I should have been going to bed, I instead decided to start a new project. So I'd had this idea of, like, kinda marking each one of my deaths off on a calendar, kinda. So make a memorial of each time I die in Minecraft. So I thought, what better way to do that than a graveyard? We'll create a graveyard, and every grave in that graveyard is a time that I've died. So far there's been 2, the creeper and the lava. And I think, the longer this series goes on, the more filled up the graveyard gets. I think it'll actually be a really, really cool addition to the world. There are the first 2 graves. I've even added some signs on them, put the date and the cause of death. Think that'll be kind of cool, keeping track of how I passed on. The final touch for the graves, the detail that really made it pop, was some coarse dirt with some flowers. I even put an orange one on the lava, because lava's orange. The graveyard was as finished as it could be, so I moved on to something else. I needed some more iron. It was something I was constantly low on, so I decided I would try and go caving, naturally, like natural caving, not strip mining. So I made myself a shield, and I thought I'd brave the darkness, and, went all well, dug into the mountain, faced off against a skeleton, won, and then my worst enemy appeared. A baby zombie that absolutely destroyed me. The graveyard had just been built, and I was already trying to add a 3rd death to it. I'm not ashamed to admit that I just ran home, closed the door, and waited for that guy to burn to death. I was not dealing with it. Sadly, the mountain didn't have any caves in it. It was just a little crevice that housed some mobs. So I tried some other natural surface caves, going down holes, lighting them up, and I was just finding nothing. They were either just completely shallow or flooded, neither of which were good options. So I got a little bit of surface iron, but it did not solve my problem, not in the slightest. With caving more or less out of the question, I thought I would just turn to strip mining. I was going to go back to my ladder, and I was going to finally get it to bedrock this time. Last time I got to deep slate, got distracted with that cave system, burned in lava, and I haven't been back down since. So I'm coming back, I'm mining a 2nd shaft, and the plan is that I'll be able to jump all the way from the top into a puddle of water at the bottom, and that's where all the strip mines will be. Sure enough, got to the bottom safe and sound, didn't fall in any more lava, thankfully. I mined out a little room down there, ready to strip mine, put the water in, and everything was looking right as rain. Everything was going well in the world, and I was absolutely over the moon. I stayed in the strip mine for a wee while, just going back and forth. Branch mining, I think this is called, where you mine a passage and then you mine little branches off of it. Whatever it's called, it's very effective, because I left with 9 diamonds, I think. Which, you know what, if you ask me, that's a pretty good haul, considering I was down there for like 30 minutes or something. I fancied my hand at getting some cows. I had sheep, and they were well and good, but to make an enchantment table, I would need a lot of bookshelves. And, in turn, a lot of leather. So, the best way to do that would be to farm cows. The only problem was, I didn't know where cows were. So I threw together a little pen and I went off on another adventure. It took me absolutely ages to find these cows. I looked high and low, literally. I climbed the mountain. And where they were was on the other side of the mountain. And oh my god, I had to drag them back with a piece of wheat over the mountain and then back down the other side. It was hell on earth. By the time I got them to the top of the mountain, I was already sick of them. So I just did what I did with the sheep. I just built a little bit of dirt scaffolding over the lake, led the cows onto it, chopped away the blocks, and let them fall. By far the easiest way to get them down the mountain. My torture wasn't over though. When I dropped down, the cows had wandered into a little shaded bit between the mountains, where just an absolute ton of mobs had spawned. Oh my god, see, getting them out of here was dreadful. These cows did everything in their power to escape me. It was so bad that somehow I ended up dragging a cow and a creeper at the same time. If that's not a recipe for disaster, I don't know what is. At the end of the day though, somehow, I managed to get the cows away from the mobs and get them back home. It was an absolute... It was a journey. And that was probably harder than killing the Ender Dragon. No, I'm joking, but you know, I need to embellish things here. All in all, I think it was a successful journey. I had 3 cows at the beginning, but I think one of them died. Either way, I have enough to breed, so really I'd consider that a success. That's all I really did for episode 2. Mined some diamonds, got some animals, made a graveyard. But hey, I don't know about you, I'd consider that good progress. So, bye.